I got a special guest coming in here, Pat's insider, CEO of Bill's Whiffling Camp, owner of the Cincinnati Deers, Boston native. He shed tears. He's dropped his accent so he can get employed well in Chicago. Here he is, the one and only Mr. Bill O'Donnell. Bill O'Donnell, how we doing, buddy?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you
right,
perfectly. Fantastic.
I feel like I'm looking off to the side. Which way do I look? This way? Better?
Look, no, do not look that. No, you're like a weatherman. It doesn't have a green screen. No, look right at your computer there.
Like that?
Got it? Yeah, there you go.
I'm looking at you.
Okay. You look
okay,
at me now. Look a little centered here. Look to your left. There you go. There you go.
All right.
Look, right there. Or just look right at your look right at your camera at your computer. You've done this before, right?
How about that?
No, it's all right.
Where's the camera?
There you are, right there. Perfect. You were just
right there.
Yeah, I'm telling you where your camera is. You know, I didn't set up a studio inside your apartment there. But here we go. I
don't know where to look.
Now you're doing fine. You're doing fine, buddy.
I feel frozen. I'm afraid to move. I want to look at you, but
look at that. Is that better?
Is that good? I can't. Yeah. If I look at me, here I'm looking at me. It's hard not to look at yourself on Zoom. You know,
I understand that, especially in a meeting. You know, you're just you're checking your hair, you're doing the whole thing. You know, you got focused in on yourself. Understandable.
Okay. All right.
Now you are. Let me lock back in there.
Go through my bio again, please. I like to hear what I'm involved.
What do you see? You see the ticker I got scrolling down there, Bill?
Yeah.
It's nice. Yeah, you're Pat's insider, owner of the Cincinnati Deers, which is a storied franchise in the CCFL Fantasy League, and founder,
three-time champion.
Absolutely, and founder of Bill's Whiffling Camp, which you can find more information at everybodywhiffs.com.
That's right.
Which I was there last night. Fantastic website and views. I've used to ump a few occasionally. I'm a legend in that site, but I don't want to reveal that to some of your students who are now probably old enough to gamble themselves.
No, but they do. I don't know if you know this, but young children can gamble on their phones without being 18.
It's insane. It's absolutely insane. Like I said before, the way that we talk about gambling ads now is we're going to look back at this the way we looked back at cigarettes and the way we talk about it with doctors. Like, there are no sweat parlays. You can't lose, kids. I mean, dude, it's straight up addiction. It's hilarious. But you go back, of course, New England, from Boston. I met you in Chicago, of course. But
let me give a plug out to Manchester by the Sea. I'm from Manchester by the Sea.
Manchester by the Sea. Casey
Affleck. Yeah.
One of those uplifting movies, Manchester.
Yeah, very depressing. The town's a lot nicer. The town's not that depressing, but yeah.
I'm a depressing person. I like sad shit, but even then, I was like, Jesus Christ, let's fucking cheer this up, boys.
Yeah,
that is a rough one. But I remember you crying on the first Super Bowl win with the Patriots. I saw that when Brady threw for 40 yards. I was there. And speaking of the fantasy, when you were passed out drunk in a bathroom stall at the Lincoln Lodge, yelling at some anonymous owner to give me David Patton. Give me David Patton. Is this a fantasy football thing? It was an interesting thing.
Those were the early days of fantasy football where you felt like you had to own the players of the team that you rooted for.
Very plantation atmosphere. But you are the Pats, and we're here to talk about your Patriots here now. Let me queue up a little. I got some slides.
You don't need to bring it up. The schedule is that you don't need to bring that schedule up.
Well, I got it here. A Patriots.
They're all losses. Every game is a loss.
I was just going to say, what is your overall general feeling? Now, some people say they might be the worst team in football this year.
No, I agree. I mean, I'm looking at 0-17, possibly 1-16 if they can beat the Titans. That's going to be the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I love that old logo though they have there.
That is a good one.
So they're 4-13 last year. They fired Bill Belichick. What an amazing thing! And then so the over/under set of 4.5 again this year. I agree with you. I don't know how to get to 5 wins. That seems impossible.
Yeah, no, I don't. Is that? Yeah, no. Under. Hammer the under.
Now, 90-1 to win the AFC, 180-1 to win the Super Bowl. You're just burning money at that point. But I was thinking, how hilarious is it? 27-1 to win the division. There's only 4 teams in the division. How are you 27-1? That's like, just for mathematics, it shouldn't be that high.
Yeah, I don't know how that's possible. And they do have a very good defense.
Yeah.
That just tells you how historically bad this offense is set up to be.
Right. Well, they were a top 10 defense back-to-back years, top to 10 defense expected point PA. But that was, I think Bill Belichick obviously gets a lot of credit for that. He still could coach. People act like he was a piece of shit coach. No, that is the big story, of course, with your Pats. Belichick out, the legend, and Gerard Mayo in, and then Robert Kraft had to toss him in there. With his shenanigans, because Mayo is 25-1 to win Coach of the Year, which could be possible if they win anything. If they do anything, he'll get.
Nobody knows anything about him. I mean, nobody knows what kind of coach he's going to be. So
right, he was a player. He barely has even coached 5 years, right? And then I put to get fired 100-1. I just put that in there because the balls on Kraft to fire Mayo after the shenanigans he pulled and that Belichick pulled. Behavior wise, I mean, what would Mayo have to do to get canned after Belichick's caught on a Ring camera? Now he's dating a 25-year-old, whatever he's doing. What's Boston's take on Belichick dating this little young snapper?
Yeah, I think they're happy for the guy. I mean, Boston is divided on Bill, that he overstayed his welcome and ran the team into the ground that it's in now. But there's others like myself that the man can never do anything wrong. Right. Anything he does is okay with me because he brought us 6 Super Bowls. So,
and that's the spot. And I agree. And I think he's still a good coach. Like I said, top 10 defense with that. I mean, when they had literally nothing on offense. They were 31st in the league in offense and EPA.
They have even less this year.
And that's the problem. They have even less this year. The quarterback situation be a little bit different, I guess. But they brought in Alex Van Pelt, though, as your offensive coordinator.
Okay.
He might do a little something there. Ramondre Stevenson might have a decent year. But the big story, of course, was drafting Drake May, number 30. What do you think of a guy named Drake May? Look at that face. I don't know what I think about that face there.
Yeah, I think it's just crazy that the coach's name is Mayo and the starting quarterback's name is May.
Yeah.
He's confused the two. They're easily confused. What do I think about him? I hate him. I think he's horrendous. I don't know why they drafted him. They could have drafted a good offensive player, one of these great receivers that would have been there forever. Yeah. And then waited on a quarterback. We got Jacoby Brissett. Why is this kid not playing? If he's good enough to be the 3rd pick, put him in there. They go out and they get the backup quarterback from 10 years ago from this team. And he's better than this guy.
Well, Jacoby's a professional. That's what he is. He's a professional quarterback. He knows how to play the position. He doesn't know how to play it well, but he does know how to play it and what the actual ins and outs are of it. Speaking of receivers, you have literally no wide receivers on this roster. Demario Douglas, I think, is your number 1 that you're bringing back. They just cut Juju. They just cut Juju Smith-Schuster.
How about the tight ends? They've got Hooper and Henry as tight ends.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that's amazing.
They say Hunter Henry might do a thing a little bit this year. What do you think about that rookie Jalen Polk? Now he's going to be starting for them. He's at 75-1 for rookie of the year. I kind of think it's worth a sprinkle just because of the sheer numbers he's going to get.
Yeah, I think Polk and the other kid Baker. I think moving Schuster out of the way and not getting Ayuk. A lot of Pats fans are calling for them to go out and get somebody like Ayuk. Why bring in a good receiver on a horrible offense?
Yes.
Let these kids play. But to that same point, let May throw to him. Get him in there now. Nobody wants to see Brissett. We don't want to see him. Nobody wants to see him.
Right. I guess there's something for you don't want to burn him out too quick because May's going to bomb when he goes in there and be terrible.
Bomb. So let's get it over with and put him in there.
Might be a Sam Howell. Like a Sam Howell situation in Washington. Let's just get it over with and then we can get rid of him so we can say, see, at least we threw him out there. Even though it was a waste of a pick. Terrible.
It's a waste of a pick. You could have Malik Neighbors. You could have Harrison.
Could have Marvin Harrison. Anybody.
It doesn't make any sense.
Literally any one of those receivers. Now, you mentioned Brandon Ayuk. New England offered him $32 million a year, and he said, no, thank you. Yeah, I would rather not make that money and not live in Boston and get the ball thrown to me by Jacoby Brissett and Drake May.
I don't blame him.
DeAndre Hopkins, Calvin Ridley, they all turned down New England. What's going on here with that?
Yeah, you're seeing a pattern now, aren't you?
We are seeing a pattern.
A distinct pattern.
And Mayo did say, well, if we win, they'll show up. I don't think that's true either.
No, you think it goes back to the racism that's haunted Boston for all these years?
The Boston racism, you could speak on that. That's it's pretty legendary, especially towards the athletes. What can you say about that with the way, because word gets out?
I don't know. I mean, hey, Randy Moss overlooked it. Right?
Yeah, you did fine, right? For an 18-0 season, why not?
Yeah. Do you want me to go into the Bill Russell first black head coach in basketball to try to
No, I don't.
change the narrative on this?
No, I don't. But I always like how Red Auerbach was perceived as some civil rights leader because he drafted Bill Russell. Like, what a visionary!
Yeah.
Oh wow, I drafted this 7-foot black man who's dominating the fucking country out in San Francisco. What a legend! I threw Matthew Judon up there. I like him. He's holding out right now, I think.
Yeah.
Or is that what he's doing?
I think he's there, but he's disgruntled, and
yes,
I think they're going to trade him. It sounds like from the latest news I read that they're going to trade him. It would be nice to be able to trade him and trade the entire defense, like you trade a baseball player at the trade deadline to you could trade the entire defense to a team that could use it.
Right.
Because what's the point, right? To have anything good on this team when the other side of the ball is so bad.
That's interesting. If they do trade him, then getting him at 66 to 1 to win Defensive Player of the Year is not too bad because he's a great player. I love the sleeves. That's his look.
Yeah, he's got a trademark sleeve.
It's a good look. I even like, their whole defense. You do have players. You have Jonathan Jones and Jabril Peppers is playing great. Christian Gonzalez, who was amazing until he got hurt.
Yeah.
I actually like him for comeback player of the year, maybe. He's incredible.
They got a great secondary. And they got a great defensive line. You know, when Barmore's there.
Yes, absolutely, with Barmore. Now, but I just don't think, who knows if Mayo is going to be able to coach him up as well.
Well, and it's the big question mark of blood clots. Never good. Never good prognosis on blood clots. I don't know if it's the Jamaican blood clot, like blood clot. I don't know exactly what that means, but this is the actual medical blood clots.
What the blood clot, as the Wu-Tang famously said. Now, that seems like that'd be a lingering injury. That's the one that's going to stick with you, the blood clot.
Yeah. Even if you play, it's got to be in the back of your mind that you have blood clots.
All right. Or if you get hit hard, that can't be good for the old blood clot.
Yeah.
Whatever it is. All right, let's get into the schedule here before we get there. And you notice I got some, just to make you feel better, I put Andre Tippett and Hugh Millen in there.
It's good that you put Hugh Millen in there because I've been thinking a lot about Hugh Millen and the boys lately because this year is reminiscent or feels reminiscent to 1990, 1991 when we really hit rock bottom.
Yes.
And Hugh Millen was around there. We had it was the Rod Rust year to the Dick McPherson year. So for Pats fans, I want to speak on behalf of them. I've been talking to them, and it is kind of a nice time to hit rock bottom because we've been on the slow descent for a while here, and now we know we're pretty much at rock bottom, and we can only go up.
But I remember Hugh Millen put a little fire into them. They only went 6-10, but he made some comeback wins. A lot of close calls. Was Irving Fryer the receiver there?
He was still there. He was still there at that
him and Hartley Dykes was the other receiver.
Yeah,
maybe
we don't like to talk about Hartley, and he had a rough career.
What happened with Hartley Dykes? Did he have a blood clot situation?
Not blood clots. It's just horrific legs. You can barely walk.
Yeah, that's true. That's a terrible situation. All right, let's get into this. What do you think of that mascot too? He seems a little sketchy. This Patriot. He seems like he's like a Boston hard ass in the lower right there.
I feel like the face has changed on him a little bit.
Right. He's gotten hard, and he looks like a little Manchester by the Sea character almost. He's seen some tough times.
Yeah, he looks like he had a stroke or something. He's got dementia.
Yeah. So I think maybe, I was looking at the schedule. Maybe this is why you got Jacoby Brissett to start it off. You don't want to put Drake May into the fire just because the schedule opens up pretty difficult here.
Well, yeah, that is the point. The offensive line they're saying is the worst offensive line in football. So you put a rookie quarterback back there to get hammered.
Yes. And then pretty soon they'll be calling for Joe Milton running around. That was kind of fun. But so they open up at Cincinnati. That's a devastating loss there, maybe a complete blowout.
Yep.
Then they come on with Seattle. This is kind of a respectable. I mean, I think you have a fighter's chance with that.
I mean, the only way they can score points is if the defense scores points, right? So
right?
Yeah,
But games at Foxborough can be tough. Remember, the Eagles opened up in Foxborough last year, and Mac Jones almost led to a great comeback there. And
do you want to go over the offense again? I feel like we need to go over the offense again. You have no offensive line.
What do you think about the nickname Zappy Hour for Zappy though? I've heard that the other day. That's pretty good.
I like Zappy. I like Zappy a lot.
Yeah, everyone likes that Zappy.
Yeah, he didn't get a fair shake.
Never did.
No, he never got a fair shake. He played great.
And it's not going to happen now. I bet Mayo's locked in on Jacoby. Would you be shocked if May didn't get in there at all this year?
Yeah. I think he'll be in before the bye.
Well, let's look at the schedule. If you don't beat Seattle, because then you got Jets loss, Niners loss, Dolphins loss, Texans loss, and then Jaguars questionable, Jets loss again. Titans, I don't see a win till maybe November 3rd versus the Titans.
Yeah, I don't see it. Some people think the home against the Jets, but the Jets look pretty
absolutely. Absolutely not.
Yeah,
I don't care. I mean, listen, I'm doing the AFC's preview. I think the Jets might be a little overhyped, but it's not even close. You
don't know. You got to throw out the records when the Jets come to town. Doesn't matter what the records are. The Jets. That's
true. And they'll have some disgusting 10-9 game. That was the game when they won on the punt return, I remember, and everyone made fun of Zach Wilson because he's like, whatever, they didn't act like, he didn't let the team down. Did you let the team down? Or he's like, I don't know. Like, no, it's like no one asked Mac Jones that. He didn't score. They got a punt return. But other than that, then it kind of eases up. So I think maybe after that
eases up
game, a little bit. I'm looking
at Colts.
Yeah, the Bears, the Dolphins.
The Bears are going to be amazing. Are you kidding me?
Oh, Jacksonville, by the way, is in Europe. It's in London. What do you think of that?
Ooh, well, you get the Patriots, the whole Revolutionary War thing going on there. Yeah, maybe.
That's what I'm saying. And you play a London style of game, a sloppy, wet, dark, misty, kind of London fog type of game.
Yeah, that's a possibility. There's some possibilities, but what's also possible is a winless season.
I tell you what, then you got the Cardinals right. They'll come up with a couple wins, hopefully with Mayo there. They won't fire him, but let's get the schedule out of last couple games to be determined. Not because they're going to flex him out, because the league might decide, it's just not even worth. Yeah, not even worth playing. Let's just get them out of there. So you're not too positive on your Pats this year.
I'm not bullish. Yeah, it's the worst Pats team we've seen since 1990. And it should be fun, though. When your team is this bad.
I was just going to say, do you feel like this is retribution? Maybe kind of like, because you've been so good for so long and you grew up. That's not how Pats fans were, Boston fans in general. You guys were losers. Absolute dead cold losers. And then the whole city started winning. You guys became insufferable. Now, it's time for the chickens to come home and roost a little bit.
Yeah, we for the past almost 2 decades, we've just been trying not to lose, right? Because we were always very good.
Right.
Now we're just trying desperately to win. It's coming from a different place now. So, yeah, I mean, we as Pats fans had a lot of fun when they were rock bottom. So I'm looking forward to that. You've been there.
Been there for sure. Absolutely. And I tell you what, I mean, no one wants to go winless, but at the same time, if there's ever a fan base that would love to be winless, it would be I think it would be Boston, New England sports fans. They would love it.
I would absolutely love it.
Back in the day when they would drive up to Sullivan Stadium and freeze on those bleacher seats back there,
Yeah.
Incredible. Well, Bill, thank you for joining us to talk some New England Patriots. You are much better. I'm not going to say who's better. We're bringing a lot of teams, but I know I'll just say our Cleveland Brown insider called from a much worse connection, and you know who he is.
He was in the car. Yeah.
He was in the car, hiding from the family on family vacation inside the car and just going in and out. But I knew I could trust you, professional. Make sure you if you have any kids, wealthy kids in the Chicago area.
Only wealthy kids. We only take the wealthy.
Only wealthy kids, your Moises Allou's children, athletes' children, Chicago legends. At everybodywhiffs.com, maybe the greatest wiffle ball camp in America.
The only, I still believe, only wiffle ball camp in the world.
Absolutely. And you run quite a business, quite a scam there. You got people working underneath from you. You're kind of like, you're on top of, you've set up this empire, where you just have other kids do. It reminds me of like those drug dealers that have like kids on the streets, corners selling out, what I mean?
That's a great comp. Great comp.
You're Nemo Brown, if you will.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I don't make him
great.
get naked though. In the
No, don't make him get naked. That would be, of course, inappropriate. But you do have sit in and you give out a lot of shit. You have a good business model. You sugar them up for the day, then you shove them into parents' cars when they come pick them up, and you don't got to deal with them. You know.
Always send them home happy with a pack of cards and a old timey candy. They forget about how bad the day was.
Oh, fantastic! All right, Bill. Good luck to your Patriots, and better luck to your Cincinnati Deers as well.
Thanks, babe.
All right, we'll talk to you. There it is, Bill O'Donnell, New England Patriots. Let me go.